Hi guys, it's Andy from Tech UK. In partnership with Unique PCs and with support from our sponsor Enermax, we introduce a brand new case to their range, and this is the iVektor. Starting with the front of the box, we can see the Enermax logo right up at the top here, along with the iVektor and the actual product code. Just on the top flap as well, we do also have the iVektor branding. Now, we can also see an image of the actual case here, along with a sort of duplicate copy of what is featuring on the front of the case, which are these ridges along here and the fan filter. Moving it around, right down at the bottom here, we can see the three different colour options, which are black, white and red. On this side we have exactly the same as the other. And on this side we have the internal specifications of the actual case itself, which we'll come on to in a moment. So let's get it out of the box and have a quick look. Looking at the front of the case, the first thing that you're going to notice is the ridges that are on this. Now, the outer shell here, the ridges around the fan grills are all made from a nice soft rubber, which gives a really nice effect. It's going to stop scratches, fingerprints, etc., and also help with the vibration coming from the actual case, as well as looking really good. Now, obviously, the fan grill is quite a nice size, quite a nice intake. There are no sort of side intake for the actual fans here, so the main amount of air is going to be coming from here and obviously from the bottom as well. But the ridges themselves are quite deep. It gives a really nice effect. The Enermax logo is down here at the bottom. It's the only place it appears on the actual case. I'm just going to remove one of the bay covers a moment, so that you can actually have a look to see the depth on the actual ridges. I'll see the soft finish that is on there. The actual catch itself to remove this is quite strong, so literally just installing that back in left to right, and again it's just a case of clipping that across to bring that out. So let's take the front panel off and see what's behind that. Now, as with the majority of front panels, you need to pinch the plastic lugs on the inside, give it a firm tug, and the front panel is then removed. As you can see with this front panel, there are some gaps in between the ridges on the actual case on the front. This is to obviously improve the actual airflow running into the case to the front fans. The fan grille itself does actually have a soft mesh inner, which obviously is going to help to prevent dust from getting into the front intake fans. And the grooves themselves run right from the bottom to the top 3¼ inch bay. Now, as you can see, we can install two 120mm fans onto this case. There are no pre-installed fans, which is a bit of a shame. So I've got one of our Enermax fans here. They need to be installed from the inside, which is a bit bizarre, but that's just the way that Enermax have designed this. So that's the front fans covered. Let's move on to the top. Looking at the top of the case, we have two USB 2.0 ports, a microphone and headphone jack, two USB 3.0 ports, as well as a 3-speed 2-channel fan controller, a sort of low, medium and high speed, along with a hard drive and power LED, a reset button, and also the power button. The rest of the top roof panel does also follow the same design as the front, with the soft rubber finish grooves, as well as the meshed fan intake panel. Now, at the back of the case, we can see a couple of handles that are installed onto the side panels to make them easy to remove, along with a bottom mounted PSU. There is a 120mm fan pre-installed at the top, along with two rubber grommet holes for water cooling, and there is also a total of 7 PCIe expansion slots. Looking at the back of the case, this cable here controls the rear 120mm fan on the 2-channel fan controller. There's also a nice sized window for the CPU cooler, so that you're able to change that if required. The cable management holes, the 3 of them, are of a nice size, however they are lacking the rubber grommets found on most cases. There are a number of cable tie down points here to enable the cable management to be looked at nicely. Now, behind the motherboard tray, we have a 30mm clearance between the tray itself and also the punch side window. So this is ample amount of room to store cables, to tie them down, to make them look neat and tidy. So let's give you some more information on the iVektor from Enermax. The iVektor can support ATX and micro ATX motherboards and has a maximum CPU cooler height of just under 180mm. It can take a total of 6 120mm fans, 2 at the top, 2 at the front, 1 at the rear and 1 at the bottom. However, if you do have a long PSU, the bottom fan may not fit. Onto the hard drive options for the case. There are a total of 3 3.5-inch hard drive bays that are fixed to the bottom of the actual case. The upper section has got a bar that has 3 positions. When this bar is totally removed, it will allow for a maximum GPU length of 415mm. The bar can then be adjusted to accommodate 2.5-inch drives only, with a total of 4 bays, leaving enough room for a 322mm GPU. When the bar is fully extended, the case can then accommodate a total of 7 3.5-inch drives and a maximum GPU length of 290mm. Onto the bottom we have a PSU intake along with a 120mm intake, covered by very thin mesh material to help with dust. It sits on 4 plastic feet with rubber tips to help reduce vibrations. Now, with regards to the water cooling, there's only one place that a radiator can be installed, and that's right up at the top in the roof, with support for up to a 240mm radiator. Now, I've just installed a optical drive and also a fan controller into the case itself, just to give you an idea of what this would look like if you was to have a similar sort of setup. So, onto my thoughts about this new chassis from Enermax. For me, the negative points are the lack of the pre-installed fans. Would have been nice to see at least one more fan included with the actual case. Also, the rubber grommets around the cable management cutouts would have been nice to see them added onto the case as well. But finally, the material used for the fan intakes could have been a little bit thicker. I feel that these potentially could wear down in time after, cleaning on a regular basis. Now, onto the plus points. The rubberized finish not only looks really good, but feels really good as well. This may not be to everyone's taste, but I really like the aggressive look, and it's something that's very different to what's out there on the market at the moment. The hard drive bay options are a massive plus point on this case. The fact that you can have a caddy of SSD bays without having to use a bracket is a nice addition, and to add to that, you can adjust this to suit your hardware requirements. The way that this has been done has been really thoroughly thought through by Enermax, and it works really well. The top I/O panel looks really good, like the design of that as well, with the addition of the 2-channel fan controller. It's nice to see. Now, this is the first of a long line of new gaming products that are going to be released by Enermax between now and the end of this year. So a massive thumbs up for the iVektor, as it's an excellent introduction to the new range. And if they are going to be releasing any further cases, it's going to be a very tough act to follow. So we hope you liked the overview, and we'll see you in our next video. We hope you liked our video review. If you did, then please leave a like, as well as any comments or questions you may have down below. Full details and specifications on this item can be found at our website, nismotech.com, along with all the links for purchasing if you wish. Also on our site you'll find our latest reviews and current giveaways, plus a lot more. We look forward to seeing you in our next review.